What I'm going to do here is put together what I believe to be a summary of the underlying philosophical intention that Sean Carroll has in the big picture. I was going to start out with swim lanes because the way he talks about it, it comes in lanes, but it really is much closer to being different shelves on a bookcase. And he starts because he talks about them as all being stories. And he talking about the core theory, and he talks about quantum mechanics that sits underneath it, and the space-time and gravity and other forces that are all put together in these different states of matter, and then how the Higgs, and he puts all of these together and fits them into a picture for us. And in the picture, he calls that the core theory. And what he does there is then he tries to take us to the biology level, and he talks about the emergent stories that are supported by the core theory. So the story of self-replication, of the cell nuclei, multicellular life, climbing into land, and the origin of language, and even the appearance of consciousness. All of the things he believes are emergent stories that are supported by the core theory that he has. And then he gets into the next layer, the cultural layer, and he talks about how the myths are humanism, our capitalism, but our myths are also capable of being supported by the core theory. But that is, it is, if we want those myths to actually be myths that are descriptive of reality. So otherwise, our myths, we can still have myths that are just really fairy tales. But other than that, if we want them to be descriptive of reality, then they have to actually also be associated to the core theory. And then he gets into the end, he gets into the future, and he talks about the value of adding care. So he wants to add care to the whole picture. And he talks about the good of the many in terms of policies and the institutions, and how those institutions and I've kind of taken poetic license to add the idea of a partnership with technology and the institutions. And at the core theory, again, if we want to be those things to be descriptive of reality. So what he's done is he's taken our worldview, and he spent time on the ought and the is with regards to the core theory itself, and then he brought into how it fits into our values and our policies and our institutions. So it all fits together into, again, the big picture. Thank you.